Easy, easy now, Master. Remember, healing potion causes nausea if you drink too much of it at once. You are about to become sick. You say you can handle it now, but before you realize it, you'll regurgitate the potion and make it pointless. Also, I'm standing right in front of you. While I know potion making can sometimes be a messy business, I do try to keep tidy when I can. I understand you're in a hurry and that you're still uncomfortable from your surgery. I assure you, I don't envy the way you feel right now. However, healing is a process I'm sure you are aware by now. These potions, while very effective, have limitations. I am afraid I may have fallen short of your expectations. For that I am sorry. I understand that I have tried your patience these last months while I studied your physiology. I have noticed the vast majority of study in the field of medicine thus far is concerned with human beings. It leaves a sort of blank page where there ought to be instructions for care for other creatures. Even the rare medicine books in your collection only reference dragons insofar as what reagents can be taken from their bodies. I understand this can be a very difficult situation for you, Master. To have to endure degradation by books, and then myself for all the times you mustered your resolve to undergo surgery only for me to be unprepared. I had you waiting for so long until I was confident in your treatment plan following your donation. And now I'm in the regrettable position to tell you that there is even more waiting ahead. More patience required of you. It is arguably more than anyone has asked of anyone else. And I'm sorry. Master, I tell you this so that you know I'm not keeping you from recovering. I need you to understand your trust in me isn't misplaced. You graciously agreed to have me take care of you. Actually, you downright forced me to take care of you. Regardless of whether I was forced or asked, I am inclined to oblige you. You are my patient, even if you are a reclusive dragon. Actually, you being a recluse only further solidifies my duty, which is to care for you and touch up your wound with soothing salve until fully healed. After all, I couldn't abandon you with no viable alternative. That would weigh on my conscience as a practitioner of medicine. That has been my philosophy even when we first met. Even when I was beholden to the guild of thieves that you rescued me from. I would be with you even if I wasn't your full-time servant, though I'm sure there's no way to know that. And my service to you is not payment for your large donation of your very own skin, though I cannot express how much it means to me to have this key ingredient, the one I needed for the potion to remove my facial scars. Thanks to you, I'm no longer disfigured. I won't take your sacrifice for granted. I could not have made that incredible concoction without your genetic material. I'm beginning to realize how complicated our relationship has become. You would say that this is a relationship of some sort, right? No, never mind. I'm getting off topic. You are my charge, and I take that seriously. My recommendations are purely for your benefit, putting you on the right course. You told me you would survive and recover, which you will. I have no doubt about that. The meantime is going to be difficult. Swallowing down more than an ideal dosage of potion will just cause you to feel bloated and overfull. What you need is time. And in that time, I will keep the fire lit and hot. I will make sure that you are fed and that your wound is clean and dressed. Oh, I wouldn't trouble your mind with how I managed to keep a steady supply of wound dressings. I'm not taking from your hoard. Okay, if you must know. To obtain dressings of quality, quantity, and size for you, master, I just borrowed from some local noble. They seemed quite amused by the idea of sharing their bedsheets with a dragon. I'm not sure he believed me. Every once in a while it helps to be mistaken for a professional fool. Oh, but I should be more conscientious with my reputation. Honestly, I did not steal this time. I said that I might repay them handsomely. I stressed that this was a gamble on their part. I beg you, please, let me make it up to them. I needed to think quickly, so I wasn't as resourceful as I could have been. I want to pay for them, but I don't want to take your gold without asking. Actually, I could also offer my services to this person, if you would be all right with that. I would wait for you to be healed, of course. Yes, I'm aware you would hate to see me go or your things go. I promise I will return, though. Master? You look displeased. Did I say something insensitive? Oh, I see. You're still in pain. I would like to try something to perhaps distract you from the pain and soothe your senses. Do you trust me well enough to close your eyes? There we are. Please let me know if at any point what I'm doing hurts you. I'm just going to place my hands on your jawline and massage the muscles there. In human beings, it is common to tense these muscles without even thinking about it, which is a shame since it can be a source of stress. I reason that dragonkind may be similar. Before you allowed me to study you, dragon physiology was not well known to me. I am fortunate to have the opportunity to explore your body and learn how to best care for you. Oh, you like the way my hands feel? Well, thank you, Master. They do feel rather different, don't they? The potion I made from your scales was a cream, which I applied to my face, and I used my hands to work the concoction in. This is how my hands became so soft and fresh. There was even relief in my knuckles and wrists. I could just be imagining things, or it could be a bit of wishful thinking. I'll just massage your face for a bit. There you go. It looks like you're already more at ease than before I started. I'll just gently massage the space between your eyes for a moment and work my way down to the areas between your temples, ears, and cheekbones, right where they meet. There. Do you like that? That's good to hear. May I touch your horns? Thank you. Let me just massage the base around both of them. You know, if you desire, I could give your horns a good hygienic buffing. There's nothing wrong with them. Just some superficial scratches. Though I think you might enjoy being pampered every once in a while. That could be something to look forward to after you heal up. Now that you mention it, I have gotten more comfortable with you. Is that all right? I just thought if I'm going to be working with you on such intimate matters, We could be on friendlier terms. That is, if you are okay with that. I can follow protocol with you if you desire, Master. That is very generous of you. Master, can I be allowed to know your name? I see. I understand. I can accept that. I'll take your hand now, please. I have it now. Let's see. I'll just place your pinky down here on the straw and settle myself into your hand. Let's see. I'll hook my leg around. And just between your pinky and your ring finger like this. And I'll do the same with my arm between your index finger and middle finger. There. I'm in a good position to put pressure on your palm from the outside of your hand. I'll just feel for the muscles and begin rubbing over the tense areas, nice and slow, where your thumb and your palm meet. I'll ease into the pressure, though an individual as durable as you might require all of the strength I have available. There. I'm not being too rough, am I? It seems like such a silly question to ask. I couldn't hurt you even if I tried. I have to really work the muscle to... Oh, I see. That area is a little bit more sensitive than I realized. I'll lighten up. Is that better? It's actually quite relaxing when you take such a long exhale. Your breath is so warm, and I can feel it against my face and neck where I wore cloths and scarves. I suppose I am in for a lot of new experiences now that I'm not hiding myself. I'm ready to massage your other hand now. Here, I'll just come around you. And I'll get into position just like with your other hand. There we go, and oh my, I can already feel a large knot in the muscle here. How do you strain this hand so much more than the other? Oh, yes, it sounds obvious now that I give it a second thought. You were clenching this hand from the pain of the surgery. Master, I rarely speak in retrospect, but we could have saved you a lot of anguish by taking much less of your scales. With the amount of scales that you've provided to me, I have made much more potion than I required. I could easily fill a bathtub with it. I had to use quite a massive cauldron to make the potion and not let anything go to waste. I had to stir it with a canoe paddle. I'm surprised my arms aren't still aching. I'm sure I'll be feeling it in the morning. Oh, but I'll be fine. It won't stop me from caring for you. I have just about soothed the knot out of this muscle. How are, Master, are you still in pain? Oh, so you just wanted to close your hand around me? I admit I was a bit frightened. Well, you seem to be in better spirits. That makes me glad. This is interesting. When we first met and I saw those beautiful eyes of yours, I envied your mirror. But now that I'm seeing them again, I can't help but feel the weight of your judgment. I have never had a gaze as punishing as yours. Yes, Master. I will answer any question honestly. Why, yes, the vat of restorative potion is still quite potent, but the effectiveness will wane after a few years. If I were allowed to sell it, I'm sure I could fetch a hefty price for it and have every patron happy for the exchange. A small vial of it could more than pay for the noble's linens. To be frank, it is perishable. It wouldn't be a good fit for your hoard, even though it's quite valuable. Sir? Yes, I'll open my eyes. Master, would you please tell me what you're thinking? You are holding up my chin to view me in such an aggressive way. But your face, if I'm not mistaken, displays satisfaction. Why, yes, it is quite remarkable. I can see out of this eye. I have had only one eye for such a long time. I'm quite happy with it. I forgot how much I missed having it. Master, Yes, Master. It would be difficult to tell you how I lost my eye. I'm sorry, I don't know where this feeling is coming from. I can feel the tightness in my chest that I haven't felt for a long time. Not since... Well, it's a long story. If it pleases you to hear it, I will oblige you. You might not expect this from a person of my profession, but I used to be an ignorant son of a noble, firstborn no less. I thought anything I wanted was owed to me. I believed the universe was made for me and whatever whim I had at the moment. When I had an interest in a lady of my fancy, I went through all the courting motions. Though they were extensive, the more I was rejected, the more absurd I thought it was that I wasn't allowed to access this woman. My behavior then is disgusting to look back on. I knew so little about her, and I didn't even care. In my pursuit of this woman, I sought the assistance of a witch by the name of Tabitha. I became aware of her through the bounty board. Oh, that loathsome bounty board. Right, Master, I shall continue. The sign listed her impressive talents as though they were hideous crimes. I met the witch, and I thought she was a bit grating at first. I asked her for a love potion, and I offered all kinds of precious gems and coins. She declined and said that money was pointless if she was wanted for crimes of witchcraft in all the places the money would have been accepted. It felt like an annoying continuance of me not getting what I wanted. And I couldn't understand her. But you wouldn't believe this. The blade you had me use to carve the scales from you. I have held that blade back then. I saw another noble with it, that blade, and I admired it. I saw this quite expensive-looking silver dagger with a teakwood handle and goatskin sheath. When I noticed it, the man offered it to me. I couldn't decide if it was a show of good faith or a bribe, but I accepted it nonetheless. When I happened upon the witch, she nearly sent me away empty-handed. But when she noticed the dagger, she called me back. I will tell you what was so special about that blade. But it is important that you understand why I did what I did, without the benefit of knowing what the dagger truly is, what it holds. You will know, all in good time. She read my fortune and found the person I could become. She then brewed a potion for me. What it did is complicated. It made me into a version of myself that would be the most desirable to a lover. It was the first time I ever witnessed a potion being brewed. And after I drank it, I couldn't stop from thinking about the process. I remembered that this woman, this witch, told me she would be happy to make further exchanges if I brought her things that were interesting, useful, and had a quality about them that was friendly to her community of items. the items around her cottage and her garden. She had a cooperative existence with her surroundings and was capable of communicating with the thoughts and feelings of the objects around her. Harmony was paramount to her form of magic. My curiosity grew, and I gathered anything I could think of that might fit the bill as collateral to see her brew again. I didn't care what it was. It could have been a poison that she intended to kill me with, and I would have watched eagerly. She obliged me again and again, and I would use the potions as currency to acquire some books that aren't sold in the public eye. I brought materials and knowledge to this witch, and she sorted out all the things that were welcome and those that were not. One day, I asked if it was possible to create a potion with the unwanted materials and knowledge, and if it were possible, the resulting concoction would be welcome? As it turns out, sometimes it is. It was an interesting experience to find out that the spirit of a potion was different from the combined spirits of their reagents. Tabitha told me I had a knack for creative potion making, and eventually I earned her tolerance, and then I earned her respect, and then I earned her admiration. Finally, I earned her love. We decided we were equals in talent, but I couldn't quite understand her way of living. She told me we operated on two vastly different ways of existing. Her magic was earthly, and every instance of magic was at the consideration of her environment. She called my talent air magic. She said it was logical, curious, but exploitative. I thought she despised this about me. But she said it's not wrong or unwelcome everywhere, just with her, and just there. She assured me that I would thrive in a transactional environment. Well, you know how people say that oil and water simply don't mix? Well, we thought we knew better. Tabitha and I had a daughter, but my lovely witch didn't survive the ordeal of childbirth. I blame my arrogance. I tried to find a way to make harmony of our ways, and the earth punished us. I would have done anything, and I'll still do anything to undo that. Tabitha had a dog, a massive, fiendish black shuck named Primrose. When Tabitha passed, Primrose brought us out of the garden and sealed the entrance so that I would never return. I had nothing left at this point but my newborn baby and potions that I was afraid to use. Who knows what would have happened? I was wanted for a bounty in my own homeland. I was found by unscrupulous thieves. I begged for my life, or for the very least for someone to take care of my daughter. They took her from me. They threatened her safety if I didn't comply. They told me to perform the witchcraft for him, the very same witchcraft that I was accused of. Even that wasn't enough for these people. I was brought back to their guild, where I first met a higher-ranking official in their organization. Again, I saw that dagger. It was in his hand. I had spent some time learning how to see and communicate with spirits and objects. This blade held a ghostly substance opposite, yet complementary to the black dog that let me out of the witch's garden. As the officer of the thieves began to alter my appearance in the crudest way possible, the spirit within drank and drew life from me. I could see how a thief would find utility in this blade. It leaves no red mark as a token of his deeds. He must have traded it at some point for something asinine, I imagine. But somehow it came to be in your possession. So, that is the story of how I lost my eye. Master, is there something wrong with your shoulder? I'll soothe it immediately. Oh, well, yes, if it pleases you, I'll place my head on it. Actually, this is quite comfortable. Thank you, Master. I admit, I was ready to operate you almost immediately after you offered your scales to me. But I didn't want to hold that blade. I didn't want to hold the blade until I could teach it to do good by its patient. I refused to move forward with the operation until the spirit within balanced the urge to exploit with the urge to heal, to leave a trail of compassion no shorter than the trail of use. I still don't know what happened to my daughter. I hate to reflect back on it, but the spirit of this blade, a blade capable of cutting into even the skin of a dragon with surgical ease, is my second attempt to create harmony between our ways. With as much terror as this thing has caused, it's bound to do a lot of good now. That is what it means to have balance and moderation. This is the case for potion making as well. Any potion used in excess will surely have adverse consequences. A potion that changed my personality to make me more worthy of love, when applied in excess, made me a target for exploitation. What an awful side effect. Speaking of which, how is your stomach? Do you feel nauseated? Oh, that's very good to hear. Would you like to try using more healing potion? That is fair. I admire your moderation. I will stay with you and keep the fire lit while you recover. All in good time.